Max Branning is let out of jail when he ends a no-show at his trial, and the judge is forced to declare him not guilty as the evidence is insufficient. But how does that happen? David tries to guilt trip Ian into revealing Carl's involvement in his statement so he can wind up Carl. A petrified Ian tells him that Carl will kill them both, so it's extremely odd that he doesn't arrive at court. It all makes sense later when Max and Phil take a bound and gagged Ian to Wasteland in true East End style. He pleads for his life, and Max and Phil tell him they'll let him go if he helps them take revenge on Carl. Masood suggests to Carol that she moves in with him to escape her crowded house, and initially she's keen, so why the later change of mind? David explains how he helped Max get off the hook for the family's sake, and he plays on Carol's emotions, and she decides family comes before happiness. Kirsty spent the night with Carl and steals from him to help the girls with the bailiffs, but she's completely thrown when Max insists that he loves her, and his indifference in prison was just a front. Next, it's Coronation Street. David Platt's in a mess, rejected by his family and ignored by his wife, so Tina takes him in hand and tells him to get a job if he wants to get Kylie back. Instead, he uses Tina's money to get smashed at the Rovers. Then he takes money out of his and Kylie's joint account and takes Max to Tina's. Tina and Kylie are both livid. It looks like he's blown it with the pair of them. Peter's taking his eye off the ball with Simon, and when he's busy, he encourages him to play with the twin terrors, Grace and Faye. Predictably, Simon's caught stealing by Deb, and after a dressing down from Leanne, Peter agrees to let Tina help care for him. But will she be up to it after she gets an upsetting phone call from Tommy? Roy and Hayley go to Jane's funeral, and Roy decides to lie to her that he'll support her suicide, after Jeff plants the idea in his head. That's never going to work, and Roy struggles with his lie. Next, we drop in on Emmerdale. Amy's desperate after Joni takes out a restraining order against her. So much so, she steals money from the B&B and Jack's passport. Kerry realises Amy's plotting to run away and tries to talk her out of it, but when she realises how determined her girl is, decides to help. As Val and Pollard realise their safe has been emptied, Kerry drives Amy to the ferry terminal, with Val and Pollard, the police and Andy all in pursuit. They all descend on the port with the ferry still in the dock. Will Amy get away? Meanwhile, David begs Priya not to have the termination, while Alicia worries about his volatile emotional state. But has Jay persuaded her to keep the baby? Things are difficult between Rona and Paddy. They're struggling with intimacy, and Rona's need for Leo isn't helping the healing. When Laurel's charged with assault, Marlon suggests Rona's at fault. That doesn't help the awkwardness, and against her solicitor's wishes, Laurel decides to tell the whole truth in court.